Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Irma,
Good
Ilka in
morning.
Ecuador, Melissa, Emily Macias, excuse me, in Mexico, Rose in Peru, and Tania, she hasn't connected yet, and everyone in Facebook Live. Today is the 1st of November, and this is our 29th international meeting. Believe it
Wow.
or not, 29th. So
Woohoo!
we've been on the air for about 7 months.
Exactly. All quarantine
7 months.
time.
7 months. Okay,
Wonderful.
yes, wonderful. Thank God for so many blessings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as usual, let me be grateful. So if anyone could read this, please.
What consumes your mind controls your life.
What do you think, Irma?
It's true because depending of the way that you're thinking is the way that you're going to be reacting and acting in life. So if you have a positive thinking mind, then you will have always positive attitudes and positive results.
Right, that's what I always tell the people I love. Be positive, think
Yes.
positively, and practice gratitude. Okay, talking about gratitude, in next Sunday we will have the participation of Esther Vasquez from Argentina. She will be talking about mind the brain, mind the gap. And
Mhm.
then from Bolivia, Rosemary Rivera, who was sick last Sunday, and I hope she's fine now. She will be talking about ed tech, which means education technology, I guess. What,
Mhm.
when, and how. And then we will have Tito Hidalgo from Ecuador. We have had lots of speakers from Ecuador and Argentina, lots of them. Tito will be talking about the very important and very beautiful topic, soft skills in the EFLT for the new normal. And finally, we will have Monica Rosas from Mexico. She will be talking about the language classroom as a tool to boost human potential. What a name. Okay, when did I meet you, Ruben? 2, 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Five problem, yeah.
Yeah, probably. We don't remember, or we don't want to remember, or we can't,
Sometimes.
or
Yeah.
we can't remember. This was a beautiful Ayateful Peru summer day in February 2019. And then we got together this year at the beginning of the year. We
Mm,
didn't know that the COVID was coming, and we were together in Lima, right?
yeah.
First International Congress organized by our friend Gabriela Rodriguez de
Rodriguez.
Águila
Mhm.
and other people. Okay, let me say a few words about our guest today. He is a teacher of English with 32 years of experience in the ELT. He holds a degree in education and Master of Applied Linguistics and TESOL by, I'm sorry, something happened to the screen, by Macquarie University in Australia. He also works as a coach in leadership, personal development, and professional growth. Outstanding Toastmaster of the year 2012 and 2013, and former president of Lima Toastmaster Club. Teacher trainer accredited by Cambridge English Language Assessment, part of the University of Cambridge, member of the board of directors of IATEFL Peru, member of the board of directors at Alvaro, which is a non-profit association which provides voluntary assistance to people with emotional needs, like for example, you and me. Director of Director of the Language Center at Universidad La Peruana de las Américas. Okay, and this is Ruben. Thank you very much, Ruben, for giving us your time and your expertise. So you may start whenever you want.
All right. Thanks a
Okay,
lot.
thank you.
Great. Now, let me open my file. Okay, wait a minute.
Let's see.
Should be somewhere here.
Thank
Okay,
you.
there's that one. All right. So share screens should be lit. Okay, very good. Right. I'm going to full screen. All right. So you can see what I'm showing you.
Yeah.
All right. I want to start by being grateful, as you say. And since you are few right there, we can listen to every one of you say, I am grateful for. You have to complete. I am grateful for. Complete, please.
I'm grateful for being alive this morning.
All right. Emily,
I'm grateful for this meeting.
great. Roxy,
I'm grateful for my special family and being relatively healthy so
right.
far.
Good.
Today, I am healthy. I don't know later.
Irma,
I am grateful for all the challenges because they have helped me to become stronger.
right. Tanya, are you there? She's connecting her audio. So, in my turn, I am grateful for being here with you. I am grateful for waking up healthy today. And I'm grateful for sharing my time with yours and yours with mine. Great.
That's right.
That was
Now,
very nice.
breathing is really important. I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you can see because the camera. Look, these are your lungs. Can you see a little bit of this?
Yeah,
No?
it's
Yeah,
not very clear, but we can see.
yeah, that's right. So imagine those are your lungs, and you have to do something today before we initiate. You have the inspiration when you inhale the earth and the expiration. But we are going to do something. Look, I'm going to show you first what we are going to do. You have to count until 5. In the meantime, you are doing the inspiration, like in your mind, of course, no? You are going to count. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you hold the air for 5 seconds, and then you exhale. You do the expiration by counting from count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. If you want, you can close your eyes because it's like you have to get some relaxation. Okay, we are going to start. I'm going to lead this breathing. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Inspiration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, expiration. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expiration. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expiration. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, relax. Open your eyes. How was it? Fine to start with
Yeah.
lots of energy. Excellent. That's the
Great
breath.
start.
So the breathing is good for focusing on what we're going to do, relaxing, reduces stress and anxiety, calmness, decreases tension. That is, now we are okay. We are new to start something grateful, which is empathy. Wow, what a huge word. What a powerful word. We need this word in our lives. And what is it? Well, we say that empathy is the ability to put yourself in the shoes of someone else, understand what they are feeling or experiencing. Interesting definition. But let me show you one image. An image speaks louder than words. So see, you see the brains. So they are in the shoes of each other. Interesting. Then what else we have? Empathy. Now we have other definition for empathy, and it is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. What do you say about this definition? Do you agree with that?
100%.
100%. Very good. People are watching us on Facebook and they can participate on the chat. They can participate on the chat and say if they agree with this or not. Interesting. What else do we have? In the early years of life, young children are naturally egocentric and are very much inclined to think mostly about themselves and their immediate needs.
Mhm.
You see, about themselves and their immediate needs. So, what does it mean? It means that they're not yet ready to consider the needs and feelings of others.
Mhm.
You know that the children always say, "Oh, this is mine." You know, this is mine. They are my toys. This is for me. For me, they when they're very early children, they don't think about the others. You know,
Mm.
but there is a but. Developing a sense of empathy is an important developmental process for young children, and one that can benefit them not only in childhood, but well into adult life as well. So, what you say is good. So, we have a good basis from early childhood. Then you continue in the adolescence, you continue growing up as an adult, but you have a very strong feeling of empathy in that sense. Now, the question for you is why is developing empathy important for children? Why is developing empathy important for children? And I want you to tell me why. Do you have any idea? Whatever you think, whatever you have in mind, whatever you want to say, I'm going to be empathetic to listen
I
to
will say
you. Yeah.
probably because everybody needs to be aware that there are other human beings around, that we're not alone and we need to work with them. So if you really want to implement or develop collaboration among the students, they need to start with the first step, which is recognizing that there are others with other ways of doing things, with other feelings and reactions, and also recognizing myself among all of them. That's
Okay.
my idea.
Great. Roxy, what do you think?
Um, I think that for the process of the brain development,
Mhm.
childhood is the very best age to start learning. And if we start learning this without paying much attention and being children, it will come automatically in the future. I would consider quite hard and not being selfish all the time and start to be empathetic being a young adult. It's something that takes a long process. It's not something that starts all of a sudden and change. It has to be worked from the very beginning. And probably they don't know that they're being empathetic, but when they start sharing, for example, Christmas time, and they give their toys to the poor children, when they receive another one, that is a start way to be in that they have to start sharing. It's not everything for them because they are it's my mommy, it's my daddy, not only for things, it's their own property. But they don't understand exactly what these words mean as we understand as adults. So it is this process of learning of the brain since they are very kids, no?
Very good. Emily, what do you think?
I think this is a very important process because when I was working with children, I noticed that they was very selfish. So, for example, in the break time, they mm, didn't share their food, for example. So
Yes.
they prefer to through all these fruits or candies that they didn't like,
Mhm.
instead of sharing this with their classmates. So for me, this is important. Is start in the very beginning with the child for developing this feel. I think
Mhm.
that they need to learn and not like say, oh, okay, I am going to teach what is empathy and how it works. It's more about actions in class, for example. So try to show why is important this, why you can share your food or your candies or your toys, your materials, etc., etc. So for me, this is one reason why it's important to develop an empathy with children.
Thanks, Emily, for your great answer. What about Jaime?
I agree, as I said, 100%, because as Emily said, we shouldn't teach, but do, demonstrate, show and children. And one of the biggest problems, I think, for us adults or grown-ups is that we think that children have to do and obey everything we say, which is not true, because we make mistakes, we say or we ask them to do wrong things. So being empathetic with children, it's important, because then they will learn how to be empathetic, and they will do that when they are older.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your great answers. Let me continue sharing my screen. Building an understanding of what others are feeling, how their own actions can impact on others, and why something might be experiencing feelings at a particular time is a valuable life skill for children to possess. Mhm. Helping young children to develop a strong sense of empathy is beneficial because you mentioned some things, but let me complete your ideas with it helps them to build a sense of security and stronger relationships with other children and educators. Interesting, no? And educators, positioning them well for learning. Interesting point. It encourages tolerance, very important, this word, tolerance, and acceptance of others. Tolerance and acceptance, two powerful words in social life. It promotes good mental health.
Mhm.
So that is empathy, my friends. Promotes good mental health. Believe it or not. Empathy also promotes social harmony and can reduce the likelihood of bullying. Huh? What do you think of that? Bullying. That is something that has been said or has been mentioned since the late 10 years, I think, no? So it became very famous, the word bullying. But bullying has always existed. But now we
Mhm.
have the name. Thanks to English, we have the name, the international name of that abusive character, abusive actions of bullying, right? The benefits of empathetic thinking flow into adult life too. Huh? The benefits. You like that word, right? Everyone likes that word, benefit. So, what are the benefits? So empathetic adults may have. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what comes after this slide? Really? So I can see people interacting on Facebook Live too. I can read. So say yes, type just yes. If you don't want to know what comes, what slide comes, what are the other ideas that I have here to share with you? Okay, reaction. People are reacting on Facebook Live. And here on Zoom, you are
Yes,
reacting
sir,
too.
we want to know.
Yeah, that's right. You want to know.
Interpret,
Everyone wants to
interpret,
know.
interpret our silence.
Yes, I always do that, my friend. Greater success personally and professionally. Huh? You know, something very interesting that I always say, because I have heard that and I really liked this principle. It's like being a good person guarantees to be a good professional, but not the opposite. Because being a good professional does not guarantee to be a good person. Interesting, right? So,
Mhm.
what do we need? We need empathy because it's greater success personally and professionally. Interesting, huh? And higher levels of overall happiness. Wow, higher levels of overall happiness. Great. A better ability to understand others, like customers or co-workers. Interesting when you have to interact as an adult in a society and you start your enterprise, your company, or you start working. So you are part of a society. You have to deal with people.
If you
So
if
you
you allow
understand
me,
others.
Ruben,
Yes.
reading and listening to you, I guess this is something that our bosses, everyone who has people who are in everyone who has a position and power and some teachers who work for him or some people, they should always remember this empathy, so they will understand others and their problems and their families and everything, and the world would be a better world, even in education.
Right. The word would be like John Lennon dreamed some
Yes,
years ago, right? Very
yes.
good. Hi,
what what,
Glenda.
what did
Glenda,
he say? What did he say?
he say it's the better word, and everyone what has to act like one. It means with empathy.
Yes, that's what he
He
said.
said empathy in other words. Yes or no? Right.
Yes, he
Good.
did.
So a better
Yeah.
ability to understand others. Do you? How many people do you understand, or how many people understand you? That's a good word, no? A good question. Next is more success in leadership positions. Wow, it's a powerful saying this. Leadership position, because leadership is a word that has become famous lately. But what leadership means? Leadership, you need to have lots of values as a leader. And one important value is leadership for people who, in a way, have authority. But not all the authorities are leaders. It's really sad. Well, let's continue. More satisfying relationships and be better at dealing with conflict. Wow, interesting. Conflict. This is part of our life. Conflict. Nobody's out of conflict. Are you? Raise your hand. Say yes on the chat. On the chat of Facebook. Okay, Jaime. Oh, Jaime lives in the paradise. It's not Alice in Wonderland. It's Jaime in Wonderland. Okay, very interesting now. Um, Good. Let's go on. Lower levels of stress. You know what empathy can do for you is lower levels of stress. Ooh, interesting. Another question for you. How can we help children develop empathy? A very powerful question for you all. How? You want to tell me what you think? How?
I think working with a small thing, maybe like, as I say before, for example, in the break time, I try to work with this sense of I can share my thing, even it's a little one or only one. I don't know, crayon, for example. If I see I have 3 tables with first, second, and third grade of kinder, so they have they are different ages. So I have from 3 to 5 years old. So I try to work with this kind of field that they can share, they can, yes, give something without hope that they receive something, for example.
Good. Thank you. Roxy, what do you think?
Okay, many things comes to my mind. I
Yeah.
think that this is quite complicated for mothers who have only child, you know, and they have to make them mingle with other kids, like having the opportunity to go to places or reunions in which kids can be playing together and sharing and making the other kids be participating and involved, because the only childs are the ones who are the least empathetic at the beginning, are the hardest one, and we can see them when they go to school. They're always with their own things, holding their staff and no sharing. And as Emily said, when working in kinder or first graders, most of the time they work not individual table but a group table, and they put the things in the middle, and sometimes they don't want to share that because the stuff they have is for everybody. It's not my colors. It's not, they are not my crayons. It's not my glue, but it's everybody's. So in that way, it's a way to start sharing. And if mothers or parents don't start working hard the first ages, the first years of the age, would be very hard for these kids to start this period. I remember being observing classes, and it was kind of difficult to integrate these kids that are the only children, or they want to participate but they don't feel like doing because they don't know how to. And I think we said before, it's not just only telling them, because kids don't learn by being told, they learn by seeing, by doing, right? So I think it's a hard job, no, to start doing.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Yes. Anyone wants to participate? Glenda, you are muted today. You are muted. Oh, Glenda, what you're doing? She's in mindfulness. Okay, Irma.
Yes. Considering only the classroom setting, uh, and trying to be very practical, something like developing empathy takes a long time because it's a process. So maybe we can start with the small steps. Like, one of the things that I have never understand from the changes from kindergarten to first graders or second graders and then elementary is they changed the setting from tables with 4, 5, 6 students, and then suddenly they change for individual chairs. So even though we are missing that opportunity of having a group setting, we can start with the first step of pair work, like sharing the book, sharing the notebook, or pairing the student that forgot the book for that class, and then you can sit the students together. It's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of effort and patience from the teacher, and also patience from the students, because it's a learning process for all of them. And as you said, you clearly stated in the beginning, children are self-centered in the beginning, so it's hard to turn into others and considering orders, but we can do it. We have to do it to create the better world that we all want.
Sure. You know, I used to run a school in Ventanilla, Callao, And when we ask for the stationary objects, I mean, the things that the children need to work in the classroom, in the list,
Uh,
we ask
material.
for exactly the material. We ask for many things, for color pencils, and most of the things. But some children couldn't comply with the list on time. So we had something is like we join all the material in the classroom and we put in different tables.
Great.
All the material, you know, every single color pencil has the name of the child. Every single color pencil, and the mother said, "No, but I brought the colors." And they tell the children in kindergarten, huh? You have to ask for your things. Don't use someone else's things. You have your own. And the children from 3 years old, 4 years old, teacher, this is not my name. I need my color pencils. My mother told me. I think, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
That's the real world. That's
Were
the
you
real
like that,
world.
Ruben, when you were little and you were 3 years old?
no, I don't think so, huh?
Because
Because
in our times, we didn't study.
there was no
Yeah,
kindergarten.
yeah, we just had transition.
Exactly, preschool, early, you know, early school,
So we
preschool.
didn't have that problem of empathy, did we?
Yeah, no, we didn't. Okay.
No,
Hello,
we
hello,
didn't.
Cynthia.
Only to exchange nappies, only to exchange nappies. Someone
Yes.
else's nappies. All right, let's go. So what is the role of parents? The role of parents.
Very important.
Parents are children's first and most enduring teachers, and modeling empathetic behavior is one of the best ways parents can teach their child these valuable skills. You know, modeling this empathetic behavior. This is what parents need to do. This is the answer. And if parents comply with this principle, life would be a paradise. But your role as a teacher, because the purpose of this talk is what we do as teachers with this marvelous word, empathy. How do we apply empathy as teachers? That's the purpose of our meeting today, mainly, which is helping your student to name their feelings, to name their feelings as understanding their own feelings is an important first step in understanding the feelings of others. What do you think of that? Do you agree with that or not? Tell me, is that true? I'm lying to you? Is that true? Who wants to participate? Anyone? We have Isabel Vargas here on the Zoom connection. Glenda still, Herbert, I think he has just come up. Herbert, hello. Cynthia, you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. We're empathetic now. So tell me, please, what do you think of that? What I'm showing you on my screen. Hi, Cynthia. You are muted. Ah, you are hilarious like Jaime. You are hilarious like Jaime. Very good. Okay, no problem. Oh, anyone? Okay, no problem. So it means that you agree with this. If you don't say, you don't react, so I interpret your silence as Jaime just mentioned. I interpret your silence.
I
But,
was waiting for Cynthia to answer.
right, oh, good. But
That's why I didn't.
Cynthia and
Interrupt.
I'm sharing because we are practicing telepathy. Telepathy. She got confused. It was not. It was not of empathy. It was telepathy. Today, telepathy.
The psychologists say, Ruben and everyone else, that the first problem of human beings, and the big one, is that our parents uh, teach us to hide our feelings. Don't cry because you are a man. Don't cry because you are a little boy. Don't do that because you are a little girl. And then we learn to hide and not to express our feelings. And then when we are older, like you, Ruben, like me, then we have problems of interrelationship.
Yes. Okay, Cynthia, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I think
Good.
it's really important to understand their feelings since they are kids, because yeah, they can understand about all the reactions, emotions. It's really important, I think.
Interesting. Great. Let's go on. So talking to your students about how other people may be feeling and why. This helps to build their emotional language and think about other people's perspective. Yeah. So remember, talking to your student about how other people may be feeling and why. Mhm. So this is what we have to do as teachers, talk to them. We have to know them thoroughly. We have, we need to get that confidence that he can tell us how he feels in respect to others as well. So caring for animals is also important. Caring for animals and plants, which helps students understand the role they play in helping another living thing survive. That is very important. Thrive and be happy. You know, thrive is to get to the happiness state as well. So thrive and be happy. That is what we need to tell them, which is important to take care of animals and take care of plants. Do you agree with that? Were you told that when you were children? Did your parents say, okay, be careful with these living things, those living things that we call the plants? You know that we have lots of studies that demonstrate that plants are living things and they absorb your mood, how you feel. If you feel sad, they absorb how you feel. It's incredible, but it is true. It is true, you know? Interesting. Perhaps, then we have here something to say. Perhaps of the simplest ways of all to help students develop a sense of empathy is by reading books together. What do you think of that, teachers? By reading books together as they learn to associate feelings and actions with their favorite characters and stories. Hmm? Associate feelings and actions with their favorite character stories. For example, Cinderella. Who, when you were a child and you read Cinderella, you identified with her. Some people could have identified with her, or some others, you know, fairy tales or other books for kids. What was your favorite book as a child? Do you remember, Jaime, your favorite book as a
Of
child?
course, I always remember
The Princess,
Uncle
the Little
Tom's
Princess.
Uncle Stone Cabin.
Ah, Uncle Stone Coming, very good. So
And
every one of you, tell me the book that you remember. Probably was not your favorite, but you remember a book that you had as a child. Emily, do you remember the book that you had, you liked, you enjoyed reading as a child, 7 years
Ugly
old?
Dunkly.
Interesting. Yeah, Cynthia. Irma?
My book was Aladdin.
In Latin. Wow.
Aladdin,
Interesting book.
everything far away. I think that helped me to develop my passion for traveling around.
Great. Roxy, you seem that you still have your book, huh? You still have that book. Yeah, I can see
Just
that book
behind, just behind.
at your back. Yeah.
I remember it was a really, really lovely book
Yeah.
because it was a set of collection of fairy tales. It was like an encyclopedia, and there were
Uh-huh.
like 10 fairy tales inside. I remember this feeling of liking that much that
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes just hold it to sleep. I put it on my pillow. So trying to feel like, okay, tonight I'm going to dream about, and then like passing the story into my dreams. And I don't know, the imagination of kids are that high and that big that sometimes I dream about what my mom have read to me being a little kid.
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah, that
That
happens.
reminds me, yeah, that reminds me of a book that I bought. My first child was 360 fairy tales. So one fairy tale of the year. I mean, what for per day? One
Great.
fairy tale per day. That's right. Interesting.
Yeah, lovely.
So the whole year, busy reading, busy reading.
Mhm.
Okay. Time of challenge. I'm going to challenge you. Do you agree with that? But if you
Yeah.
don't agree, you have to do it. I'm in
I
charge.
don't agree.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't agree.
I'm in charge now. You are in my classroom today, all right? And I'm going to be empathetic. At the end, you are going to love it. You're going to thanks Ruben for that nice
I
challenge.
strongly disagree with this activity.
But you don't know what you are going to do. That is what.
But I'm playing the role of that mean student who always says, "No, teacher, I don't want it. No, teacher,
That's
I'm
okay.
just playing a role, Ruben."
No, I know, I know. I was going to say that you are playing the role of the naughty students, the naughty
Yes,
students. All
the
right.
mean student.
The one that
No,
is
I'm
always saying
tired.
no.
I don't want to
Yes,
do
the one who
anything.
is always saying no. If you say
Right,
yes, I
good.
say no. If you say no, I say yes.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
The
Yeah,
opposite.
that happens. That happens. What do we need? What do we need? We need three sheets of paper now. 3 sheets of paper. Are you ready? 3 sheets of
Okay.
paper.
Yeah.
And a pen or
I'm
pencil.
looking for them.
All right. 3 sheets of paper. I'm
Okay.
going to share another screen. So I'm going to share another screen so you can see what I'm planning to do with you today. Okay, so
Okay.
tell me when you are ready. You have the sheets of paper. Okay, the 3 of them, because we're going to use one first. It can be recycled ones. Huh? They don't have to be neat ones. Recycled ones, only we need one side blank. Only that, one side blank. Interesting.
Do they need to be big papers?
I think there is a size A5, which is half of A4. That could
Okay.
be enough, no problem.
Okay.
Yes, A4 or A5, the size is good. No problem. Jaime is going to
He went
his
shopping. He went
his
shopping.
grandson's room, so he's going to he's going to borrow the color pencil. Okay, yeah, you are back. You went to your grandson's room.
I
Great.
needed to run upstairs and get this paper. Okay, I'm ready.
Excellent.
I had to go to the Chinese local store and get
Borrow me.
The stationery store. Okay, listen. Everyone is going to participate. Huh? Everyone. The teachers, the people who are watching us on Facebook, the same. Huh? It's mandatory. It's mandatory. Yes. Listen, I'm going to explain you what you are going to do. In some seconds ahead, I'm going to show you an image with different objects. You are going to watch, or you are going to stare, or you are going to stare at the image to watch very deeply, and try to memorize everything that you watch in a minute.
Wow. Okay.
In a minute. After the minute is that when the minute is gone, I'm going to tell you draw the object that you see, that you have seen, and as many as you can remember. Okay. I'm going to show you now what you have to see in a minute. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to full screen. Yeah. Okay. You have from now on 1 minute to watch all the objects. Time's up. Now, please, on a sheet of paper, reproduce, draw all the objects that you remember. Go ahead,
Now?
go ahead. Yeah, now,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Only 2 minutes to do it, okay? 2 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, it's 1 minute.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, time's up. Now, I'm going to show you the same image and you're going to count how many of them did you coincide, all right? You coincide. Let me show you. Correction time. Okay.
Oops. Okay.
How many? So tell me that on the chat box, when you finish, you are going to type on the chat box how many no mistakes, how many you got, how many of them in the same position. No, different positions. No, it's not, it doesn't have to be in the same position. Okay. Right, but the objects, all the objects must be there, no
Okay.
matter in what part of the sheet of paper you put it. Great. Once you have the answer, please on the chat box type how many. The same for the teachers who are following us on Facebook, they have to type on Facebook chat box the number of objects that they drew in the right way. Okay, are you doing this? You finished?
Yes.
Checking? You finished checking up? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing to see the chat box. Ah, good. 11. Wow. Excellent, Emily. 10. Oh, great. 9, 9. Okay. But I trust you. You were not drawing while you were watching. Okay. Yeah.
No.
Right. You know, we are teachers. We have to ask. Okay. Good.
Double check.
Right. Did you like it? Did you like it?
Yes. Yes.
Really? I have another challenge.
Okay.
Jaime didn't like it. He's still the naughty student, huh? Okay.
No, I'm now the naughty teacher. Which is worse, Ruben.
I know. Okay. The same. You will have another minute. You will have another minute to watch that the same figure or another figure But in this case, you have to reproduce the figure the same, in the same position of the objects, the same. You have to do the same, okay? As well as you see, you have to reproduce it in the same way. They have to be identical. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
1 minute.
let's try.
Let's try. 1 minute for you to watch it. Okay, wait a minute.
The same pieces.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, 1 minute from now on. Concentrate. Just watch it.
Done it, done it. Okay.
Just watch it. Now, you have to count. Sorry, go ahead. Draw it.
okay,
1 minute to do it. 1 minute to draw it.
okay.
I wonder what that noise is. Is there
That's
a
a
teacher?
Star Wars.
Is there a teacher playing?
That is Ruben's stomach.
Yeah.
or somebody is not being empathetic.
Everyone is empathetic
Yes.
because the situation is pathetic.
Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you. You're allergic to challenges.
To drawing.
I have some allergies, and today I just forgot my, I take my pill. That's all.
Yeah, I know, no problem. Exxon Eder Bonifacio is saying hello to us.
Okay.
Okay, stop it. Stop it. Okay, now we are going to check, but in this time you are going to count your mistakes. If you didn't draw the figure in the right position, it's a mistake. All right, good. I'm going to show you now the figure. Okay, correct, please. Our colleagues on Facebook Live also, they can participate. Are they participating? Let me watch, because I'm checking now. We as teachers have to check all the interactive platforms. They are not answering. They are not answering on Facebook. Come on, Facebook colleagues, go ahead. Okay, you finished. Now let me stop sharing it, and I can read your mistakes. One mistake. Right. Okay, bless you again. Okay, go ahead, everyone, please. Write the mistakes. Don't be ashamed.
Oh.
We are not perfect. Come on. You pretend to be perfect today? Come on. Nobody made zero mistakes? Nobody made zero mistakes? Great. Because, oh, excellent, Roxy. Congratulations. Yeah, that's it. Exxon also. Exxon says zero mistakes. Now we are counting the mistakes. Huh? That is not your score. Come on. Because the students confused. Teacher, that's my score. No. Those are your mistakes. Zero mistakes makes 20 in a score. Oh, great, teacher. Raj, hello. Did you participate? You had zero mistakes, Raj?
Oh, absolutely no mistakes.
Excellent. Excellent. So now let's have the explanation. Why was better the second one than the first one?
Because it's meaningful in a context.
Yes, very good. What else?
And
Another, yeah.
besides, we were using the first drawings to make the second one.
Oh,
All of them.
tricky one.
Ah, very good. Excellent, excellent.
Now,
So,
now I am the smart student.
yeah, I know. But if we put that, what you have done and what the rest of the, I mean, the rest of teachers in this interactive classroom have done is use association. Association. Because you are more familiar with the house drawing. We were taught to draw a house that way, yes or no?
Mhm.
That
Yes.
is a
Yes.
pattern. That is a pattern of a house that we all know, have in our minds. So that previous knowledge comes out. Interesting. But in the first one, all the elements, the items were in very different positions. It was hard to get those in those. Even it was not necessary to draw them in the same positions they were shown, but it is better. The second one was better. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want another one? But it's not about drawings. You are going to stop drawing. No more drawings.
Oh,
We got tired of drawings. We
well.
got tired of drawings. Okay? Because I have to change the activities. Otherwise, I get bored. And if the teacher gets bored, imagine the students. All right, good. Let's go on.
Ruben,
Yeah. Let
Ruben,
me.
may I
Yes,
may I
yes. Go
say
ahead. Go
something?
ahead.
Yeah, I think it's easier not to make mistakes drawing the house because also what you said before, connecting the feelings. If you see a picture of your house, it's like you can connect to your own house and then you can duplicate the same model. With the first image, it's just didn't make sense and it's related to figures, shapes, and sometimes not everybody feels comfortable with that. So it's like have a more emotional connection with the picture of my house or a house, and it's easier for me, and I feel better. I'll feel happier in duplicating that. That's the only thing that I wanted to share.
No, that. I really agree with that. That was perfect. It's the thing that you are familiarized. It's a kind of and you also say is kind of what you said? Ah, yeah, that is the feelings, right? Very interesting. It's the feelings that you are doing.
Yeah, you
Uh-huh,
connect with your
very
feelings, makes you
ex-
feel easier and happier.
excellent. Okay, now I'm
Can
going to show you something.
I ask a question to
Yeah,
Ruben?
sure, sure. Ask, please.
Maybe I have two questions. Does the
Yeah.
session start at 7 o'clock or 7:30? That's my first.
Here we started at 7:30.
At,
7:35, actually.
oh, we are at 7:35 now in Canada. So
In Canada. Oh, all right.
We
No,
started
9:35 here in
an
Lima.
hour
Sorry,
ago.
9:35. Yes.
my
All
second,
right.
my second question was
Yeah.
about association. The,
Okay.
if my association is pleasant with something, I have pleasant feelings. If my association is unpleasant with somebody because they always argue with me or fight with me, don't listen to me, then I have those unpleasant feelings by association.
Oh yeah.
Good. Excellent. Excellent comment. That's the point. Okay. Let me share something, and you're going to watch the same for 1
Sorry,
minute.
sorry.
Yes.
Raj said something very important. That's
You go
maybe
ahead.
what I want. That's what maybe I wanted to demonstrate, that maybe your activities, I mean the teachers' activities, could be interesting, amazing, but if me as a student, I'm not empathetic with the teacher and I don't like him or her because of this or that, I won't do anything that you ask me to do. Talking about empathy, that's what Raj Raj's comments made me think. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, the way you address the students is very important. But to do activities, it's not that you're going to do that suddenly. You have to analyze in your lesson plan if it is going to work or not, since you know your students already, and you know their backgrounds, their things. Probably a student doesn't have a house or whatever, you know, so you have to deal with this. You know the reality of the students. That is the purpose. And your lesson plan has to speak out. Your lesson plan speaks out. Okay. Obviously, and things that you can continue doing in the classroom. There are sudden activities as well, you know, but it is important to know you are the doctors and the students are your patients. You need to know all their information.
And sometimes it's vice versa. We are the patients and they are the doctors. Yes, because Ruben, because talking about empathy is both ways, not just one.
Of course. Totally agree. Okay, one more minute to watch this, please.
What is this? No.
Okay, listen.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have to draw?
1 minute. You have to watch it and to try to memorize it.
What? The figures?
Everything. Everything.
Pieces of figures? Oh
The
my
values probably.
Oh.
What?
Just watch it.
Okay.
Watch it.
I don't want to do that. Too much.
2 minutes for this. 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes.
Please, Roxy.
Yeah, not a good relationship with math either.
You need to be empathetic.
Yeah, sure.
It's too much.
Now she's playing the role of the naughty student.
Oh my goodness.
What are we doing, Ruben, here? I'm sorry, I missed it.
No problem. You have to watch the image very thoroughly and try to memorize the values or the figures. For example, 5 is what figure? 6 is represented by what figure? 7 is represented by what figure? It's like the coding.
Yeah, thank you.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, time's up. Now, what you are going to do is the following. Wait a minute. What you are going to do is the following. I'm going to give you just a minute. I'm going to give you this. Okay. Now.
I feel rushed. It's much.
Too much math. You don't like math. Okay.
Allergies.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me show my screen and I'm going to show you this. Please. Okay. Now.
Oh boy.
Right. Okay. Please, can you put the representation of each number in the drawings that they must be? What was number 7, 5, 3, 8, 6, 3? One minute for that.
Oops.
Good.
Good.
You're on the right track, Roxy. All right. Now, let me show you the answer so you will tell me. Let me show you
Okay.
the answer. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm going to share my screen with this. Okay. Yeah, this was the one. Now, look, you have these codes, right? And the answer, the 7, 5, look at 5, look at 3, look at 8, the value of 6 and 3. How many of you had no mistakes? You can say no mistakes so far.
I
Okay,
have
one
no
mistake.
mistakes.
Excellent, very good. Now, again, we continue with the association. This is this. Look at that. Can you see the screen? Look at 1, 2, 3. Is that Mishi? The tic-tac-toe, right? The tic-tac-toe. Look at 1. If you associate this with the tic-tac-toe, it's going to be easier. The easiest thing. Association again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right? Very good. Excellent. That was the association with the tic-tac-toe image. And you could be successful in this exercise. Anyway, I was doing some brain game with you, no problem. But it's good. I was trying you to get my point of view in developing exercises as much as they could work or not. So we are, as Jaime has said before, acting in an empathetic way or not. Not necessarily everything is not going to be Wonderland, right? Since we don't know each other and I don't know your likes or dislikes. You don't like math, you don't like numbers, you don't like drawing or things like that. So empathy is about finding echoes of another person in yourself. That is what Mohsin Hamid said. Interesting. Another thing is I can recommend some books to you. Come with Me, for example. Come with Me is a book, very interesting. This little girl, after watching TV news, she asked her father, Father, what can we do to have a better world? And the father took her to the streets and he started greeting at everyone. Hi, hello, good morning, acting in a very courteous way. So that means that doing little things, we can do many things at the end because we are showing the children that with courtesy, if everyone is courteous, if everyone is kind, we can start doing something to change the world. And it's talking about empathy too. The rabbit listened, other books, How to Be a Lion, about empathy, interesting for children. Hey, Little Ant, Adrian Simcox does not have a horse. What else? The smallest girl in the smallest grade. Another saying, there are two types of people, those who come into a room and say, well, here I am, and those who come in and say, ah, there you are. That is what Frederick Collins tells us. All right. So two people, the ones who come into the room say, here I am. And the other people, the ones who come into the room, they say, here you are. So more books to recommend. Last Stop on Market Street. It's kindness. Peace is an offering. You can get in Amazon. Pass it on. Where all wonders. And this was Julio Case's Enma the Whale. Enma the Whale. All right. Listen, let me read this. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Henry David Thoreau. Thank you very much. Your time is valuable, and I thank you for sharing some with me.
We thank you, Ruben, and let's have the round of questions and comments. Very interesting topic, Ruben. Besides paying attention to ourselves, something that these days and this pandemic has demonstrated us is that we need to be more empathetic. Empathetic with our colleagues, with our friends, with our children. And as I said at the beginning, people who are bosses, people who are in the director's position, they should pay attention to this type of presentations. So anybody wants to make a comment or a question or say something about the topic that Ruben has presented today, we have 12 minutes.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you, because not only the exercises were challenging, and I think we all needed to, and waking up in the Sunday, but empathy it's a big word because of all the meaning that it's involved, and we always need to go back and rethink about it and reflect on it and how we can include it in our teaching styles, in our teaching habits, and of course, always looking at our students to help them develop that empathy that also will end in the development of tolerance, which is another word that you use and that I like. So thank you, Ruben. I really enjoy it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Anybody
Okay.
else?
Sorry.
Can
I
I?
don't know.
I'm Julio
Glenda
Valladares.
first.
Oh, okay.
Glenda first.
Yes.
Okay, Glenda, go ahead.
Oh,
Go.
okay. Thanks. All right. Well, first of all, to thank you for the activities that have been very challenging, horrible. It was very challenging. I only the last one remember number 7 and 6, but that's the idea. Yes, I will provide some challenge, and also the empathy again. That's very very important. And I had a question regarding the last books you suggested. I have found online in YouTube it's like they have like readers, but they are like, it's in YouTube, so they can like read and listen. But I don't know if you have found or have a link that you can share or know of a website where the students can have access to audiobooks or something like that. Yes, just that. And thank you for all the activities. I'll see if I can do the same with my students.
Right. I tried to find some, but I couldn't. About empathy for kids, no, I couldn't find. Yeah, okay.
Somebody wrote here in the
yeah.
chat, maybe you could try Glenda, Vooks with VOOKS, Vooks. Julio Valladares in Lima, you wanted to say something?
Hello, good morning.
Right.
Ruben, sorry, I am very bad at the exercise you did. That's why in the psychotechnical exam always failed. But one thing which I found useful to be more emphatic or to have empathy towards my students is to, especially if you're teaching intermediate or advanced students, it's like do the exercise yourself without looking at the key. if you are showing or you are going to play a listening, listen first. Listen to it without looking at the script. And then you will see how demanding that listening or that reading or that grammar point is for your students, because sometimes we forget that and we just play the listening. We do the pre-listening, the while and the post and all the PPP and whatever. But then the students do not respond the way you were expected, even if you had it in your lesson plan, right? So you say, well, those students, they don't pay attention. But did you listen the listening text yourself without looking at the answers? And sometimes we don't do it. And the listening is kind of tough. So to me, that's also a very simple way to get yourself into your learner's shoes and understand them, and then you will be able to create a much better learner-friendly lesson plan. Let's call it that way. Yeah.
That's right, because those were the needs that you really had when you were a student as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Exactly.
it. Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks to you.
Raj?
Want to mention is that in Canada we did daylight saving time. So if I came in late, it's because of the clock change. I wanted to be,
Ah.
and so I want to apologize for coming in so late.
Apologies accepted, Raj.
And
Sure.
there's
But
Raj,
don't do it again.
I'm also
Don't do it
Canada, by the
again,
way.
please.
I'm
We're
also
Don't do
Canada.
it
empathic with
again.
you.
I will not do it again. Don't punish me, because empathy is an important subject. And I all the points you're making is by association, by stepping into that person's shoes, by relating to where the experience is. So my experience was, how come I got left behind? I don't know what happened here. So, or it took me a minute to come back to that decision that I should share this. That's why I'm late.
Right. Mauricio wants to say something. He has his hand up. His hand up. Mauricio.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ruben. You are making some exercises for the children. Perfect. I felt like it to be in the primary, and I was like, teacher, that's very complicated. So that's how the students feel. And what we need to reinforce is that the brain connection with the change from the Spanish world that they are living to the English class, we need to make the connection. So if the connection is not well done, well, we need the icebreaker, any activity. But in fact, what you are doing is making that connection. And that is very important for the teacher to get the students' attention. Why? Teenagers only have 20 minutes of attendance, then we lost them. So for our English class is important. They be connected a little bit more than the 25 minutes, because at least we need to do a 5-minute activity, but making the skills change and develop. And somebody was asking about the reading the books. If you look the book, you read the book, you listen to the book, you're going to learn 40% more than the normal class. I recommend books. Books is normally stories that are for children, but we can use at the university with the adults, with the teenagers, any kind of thing, because it depends on the vocabulary that they're going to listen. And the activity is like that, connecting the where they are to our objective in the class. Thank you very much for your sharing.
Yeah, thanks to you for participating. And let me tell you that the challenging activity that I have planned for today was for you as adults.
I know. I know.
Okay, so yeah, it was challenging. By the way, just to mention a little bit, Mauricio, I have just opened the books. You share the web link, and there is a free, a 1-year free access for teachers who are primary, secondary, and preschool. So I
Good.
can access. So that's good.
Yes.
Excellent, Mauricio. Very good.
Okay, Ruben, Emily, Roxy, Mauricio, Glenda, Raj, Cynthia, Isabel, Julio, Edson, Alexandra, Juan, Antania, and all the people in Facebook. We want to thank you once again, Ruben. Thank you for your ideas. Thank you for your challenging this morning. I felt, I wouldn't say as a student, but that's the way we should always feel, that we are human beings. And as Julio say, don't forget that students feel afraid, and we also feel afraid. They don't understand, and we don't understand either. So if we do the exercises, if we take the exams before the students, then we will remember and not forget how the students feel. So empathy, Ruben, it's something really important among us, in our houses, in our relationships, everywhere. So thank you very much, Ruben. Your final words, but not your last words.
Well, to summarize, this is a very important value for human beings, as you said, to put in the someone else's shoes, to feel the way he feels. I know it's really hard because in many ways you don't know how to feel about something before it happens to you. You
That's
know,
true.
and that is, for example, when you give sympathy to others, they lose a relative or someone they love very much, and that the person and a friend always says, I know how you feel, I understand you. But if this person having lost any relative, he really don't know how to feel in that way. That is the point that we have to do with the students. As you said before, we have to put in the students' shoes to see ourselves as students. Is going to work, for example, in the exams, if they feel nervous. So how you address the examinations to them. And this is for evaluation, right? For assessment and everything that happens in the classroom. Empathy.
Even in your house, Ruben.
Exactly. We urge for empathy from the authorities of our institutions. That is that we demand for empathy from the principal of the school, from the counselor of the university, and some other authorities, even for the president of Peru, right?
And even the wives and husbands at home.
Jaime President.
and also the wives and husbands at home.
Yeah, you know, I have read that through empathy, divorce doesn't come as an option. Doesn't come as an option.
Read a little bit more about it.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Ruben. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Roxy, Mauricio, Glenda, Raj, Cynthia, Isabel, Julio, Edson, Alexandra, Antania, and Juan Ojeda. And thank you to all the people, all your followers, Ruben, in Facebook Live. And see you next Sunday, 9:30 Peru, Colombia, Ecuador time, and Canada's time would be
6:30 in the morning.
10:30.
6:30 in the morning.
6:30.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
7:30. 6:30.
Okay.
So, something to say to the ones who could connect afterwards. We started with breathing, which is we consider part of empathy, to get some relaxation, to be very relaxed before doing tasks.
Yes, and besides we will post the I will upload the video, the whole video later.
All right.
Okay, see you next
And
Sunday,
today,
everyone.
I think it's Mauricio's birthday.
Mauricio's birthday. Oh, let's sing. Let's sing.
Taran, taran, tan, tan. Happy
Me estoy
birthday to
poniendo
you. Tan, tan, tan.
viejito.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
Well, you're gonna see. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Come on, the singers.
How old are you now?
Remember, this is empathy. Don't ask the age.
I want to feel like he feels. It is empathy. Bye-bye. See you next Sunday.